All right, we'll call public hearing for the Fitch Development Apartment Complex. This is action on special use permit for their complex. Mike Gruber, why don't you stand up and give us the executive summary, just to get us all up to speed, and we'll let the people talk if they want to.
Okay, we've got, before you, there's a packet of information that's been built up over the last couple of months. And basically what we've got is Fitch Development, who have come before this board once before with an affordable housing proposal at the Sanctuary Village area, was approved for that. Turns out that the state was not so favorable on the location as far as the tax credit arrangement. So they've looked at another site, which is they feel will pass muster according to what they were told by the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency. But you do have the proposal here. There's a map on the last page, and this facility is proposed to be built at basically at the corner of Allman and Sawmill Village Lane, and north of that. If you've seen where the new Meineke is, part of it falls in behind the Meineke, and it comes down to basically being right across the street from Microtope, and just what would be behind that. They do have their proposal here. This has had the neighborhood compatibility meeting. There is a report in the packet on the results of that meeting. We did have a planning board review of this project as directed by the board, and they did prepare, as part of that, findings of fact,
Okay.
which are included in the package.
Hold for now, you got us up to speed, so if you'll take just a break. We'll call this public session, public hearing open for comment. I've got two names, Paul Fitch of Fitch Development.
Okay.
Paul, you can be heard, sir.
Thank you. Mayor, Aldermen, thank you for having me here tonight. I was here last year, as Mr. Rubin said, and I'm determined to like Franklin. Last year's market study said there was a need for 450 units of affordable housing here in town, and at that time we thought we had a nice site over in the sanctuary next to the hospital, but the agency thought that it was not in the path of progress. So to me, that's sort of like an open book test. I went back up and worked around, and we think we're right in the path of progress up on Allman and Sawmill Road. This is one of the growth areas of your town. You've got the new library, you've got the new junior college. The road is being extended, Sawmill Road's been extended to connect with the middle school, the grade school, and there's a chance that Walmart will move a new superstore there. So, plus the existing retail base around there is substantial. I've also talked to Dick Sutton down at Lincoln Manpower, and he says there's a need, and he's supporting the development and working with us. And what we're proposing is 3 buildings on a 5.5 acre site. The center building will be 3 stories. The other 2 buildings will be 2 stories. And this is a community building. It'll have the rental office. It'll have a community laundry, even though there'll be washer and dryer connections in every apartment. Not everybody has one. The post office will be here. There'll be an exercise room and a community room that the tenants can use for any social function or neighborhood meeting. We also usually try to have tenant meetings once a month where we get together, cover dish dinner or something. It's going to be a tot lot and playground space. Over here will be our dumpster out of the way. And not my first rodeo. The first time you go around, the biggest thing is working with public safety and fire department is to give them some way that they don't have to back up the fire truck. So we designed it in such a way that we got a loop that the fire trucks will not have to back up. As I said, the center building will be 3 stories. And here's the proposed elevation that we're trying to get with this program. We like brick. We like hardy plank, both horizontal and vertical. We use the hardy plank figure stake shingles to give a good appearance. Franklin, Macon County has a need for affordable housing. People rent between $15,000 and $34,000 in income. We've been blessed being close to Atlanta. You now have a lot of second home people who live here or have retired here. If you go back and look at the census data, they'll show you about 30–35% of the homes in this county are classified as rentals because the people who own them have an address different than Franklin or Macon County. They retain the address of their home site. So that's puts us at a disadvantage for some public funds and grants because they're not part of our demographic base. But at the same time, they have increased the price of real estate and housing so that people graduate from the high school want to stay here and work here, can't find a place to live when they're starting their life, and also the people who are ready to retire, sometimes they can't find a good place. So there is a need for affordable housing in Franklin, and I am going to succeed one way or the other. I will beat the state because this is an open book exam this time. I think this is an excellent site, and I hope to get your consideration for this site. Thank you.
Any questions, Mr. Chairman? Timeline, if approval is given, what timeline are you looking at?
Approval is going to be in August. We should have the plan and specs ready for you in December, hoping to get the permit processing. And permit processing in the community is going to take 6 to 10 weeks from the ordinance people because there's a lot of things that go into meeting all the different codes for the international building codes that we work with. So we expect to get permit approval, say the end of February, to close the financing in March and start in April. That's pretty much in timeline with your weather conditions too.
2012.
Yeah, 2012. We will finish in 2012, first quarter of 2013, and hope to be leased up by May or June. Demand in these situations go pretty quick. We're doing a similar project over Brevard, 62 units, and we've already got 26 pre-approved, and we don't have the street in here. So it's the same situation in all this area up here.
Bob, stand up and salute Litten. Come forward, sir.
Thank you. This is the first time I've been before this body in some time. In my other capacity as chairman of the committee to build the memorial, I'd like to thank you personally for the help that you gave the memorial. You did a great job in helping us and supporting us, and we're still ongoing. I just let some of these younger guys take over and do most of the work now. My wife and I own a piece of the property on the tail end of this project off of Allman Drive, and I'll show you where it is, and I'll tell you what my concerns are. We own right in here. Right in there. There's a house sitting here and another house there. And there's a big pit right there where they're supposed to take water runoff. My concern is between those two houses further down, there's a big ditch going down between their properties, between their houses, from runoff for a tile that's run over underneath Allman Drive. I don't want the same thing to happen on the 2 lots that my wife and I own adjacent to this property. My concern is that engineering needs to be done. I don't believe personally that what they've done there now is going to be satisfactory if we have an overabundance of water runoff from this project. Now, I've been in the building game for over 60 years, and I've seen a lot of things happen even when they're engineered properly. And we have a big problem in this county, as well as any mountain area, about water runoff doing damage. It don't have to be a mudslide, you know, to have water damage. But that's my concern. I hope that if this project goes through, I'm not knocking the project, don't get me wrong, I'm in there. I like to see construction work, a lot of my buddies get work. But I don't want to hurt other people's property, and I know the people that are building this probably don't want to do that either. But I think the concern is that that needs to be really re-engineered down there before this project is built, to see the feasibility of how they're going to take the water runoff of that property. Thank you.
All questions, comments?
All right, thank you.
That's the two on the list. Anybody else want to be briefly heard? For or against?
Well, I'll say I'm for it.
Yes, sir.
I own the land, G&V Development, and
Okay.
we've brought in car drugs, Sonic, Fats, now Monarchy, and we've done the best we can to keep the water runoff, and I know we've had a little problem. We had a hydrogen flow the other day, which made a heck of a mess, but I've got, I think, 3 holding ponds back in that property, the size of Olympic swimming pools. And the area that the gentleman's talking about is really a temporary. In other words, that piece of property was not finished. And this project that they're gonna do certainly is gonna, that holding pond is not engineered, it's there, is what I'm telling you.
It is, I know.
It's basically like an afterthought, okay, let's put something there. I think that, his group will actually figure out where the water's gotta go. And I mean, it's gonna definitely address that problem, so.
I just want to make sure of it.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't, then he'll be the one we look at after, like, next year at this time.
See him again.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Can I address that
Yes.
one thing? You're absolutely right, you need to be protected. And, there is a temporary pond that'll be improved here, that'll catch the runoff this one building. The pond, the drainage pond we have here, it's gonna be engineered so the water will run back this way. And it'll run along, of course, it runs through the streets first, but then it runs from the building back here. And the way the land is contoured, it's gonna be easy to get the fall into the retention pond. And right now, there's a berm, along the houses here where the topsoil was, put there as, a storage spot. Well, it comes out, that makes good sense. So we're gonna keep a berm of some type through here with vegetation on top of it. So we're gonna do everything possible to keep the, water off the neighbors. And, so, he's right, they need to be protected. And I think we can do that with this site, and also set it up so that it will probably protect anyone else. There's, one track available up here that's above us that will catch in the retention pond when we're trying to work on some of the storm sewer. But you're right, you need to be protected, and we're going to try to flow all the water to this retention pond.
About all that lower, at least half of it, of the lower side of that L shape, is all downhill from that property.
Yeah. So, we're going to catch water in this retention pond that we improved, this one building. Then we're going to have the road and the grade size that will fall down to this way. So, yeah, the neighbors need to be protected, and we agree with it.
Okay,
All right. Any more takers? We'll go to the public hearing closed.